Hey guys, it's Nicholas here from upgradetolife.com and welcome to this video which is called I Remember When, a highly underestimated manifesting method. The power that this method has was shown to me a couple of weeks ago when I dealt with some, minor health issues, and I was able to just really easily remember on them, which basically put these undesirable circumstances, these undesirable things in the past, and I placed my awareness therefore on the state that I desire, which is just again to connect back again with the state of health so that this was expressed. Obviously, this can be used for any life area. I just wanted to give you a quick example, but the problem is that most people use this technique or this inner conversation. I remember when, we all have inner conversations, inner dialogues, and most people use this in a really destructive way, in a constructive way, in a negative way, and they remember on the good things. And therefore, they place their awareness right now on the, not so good things, on the non-desired circumstance. But we want to do it exactly, the opposite way. Right now, if you have undesirable circumstances in your life, if that is in your health, if that is in your relationship life, if that is in your finances, it doesn't matter. If things are right now not the way you want them to be, then you can start to put them in your memory and you can start to remember them. Even though they're there right now, this is a conscious thing that you do. So you start to remember when this was present in your life. Although it actually, is right now there, you start to remember on it. And therefore, step by step, you put it in the past and bring the attention, bring the desired state in the here and now, which is all that is required to do to express that new state that you want to externalize, that you want to shift into. So let's just look at this. I want to explain it first of all, again, in more detail. And then I want to show you some quotes from Neville to you. So again, the main objective, like I said before, and also it's saying this on the thumbnail, is pushing the unwanted state into the past by identifying with the wish fulfilled in the here and now, right? So the unwanted state that is currently present, we push that kindly, gently into the past by starting to remembering on it. So quick and easy example, right? A person can remember when they struggled with finances. So I remember when I really struggled with my finances. I remember when I never had more than I wished I had, or I remember when I wanted to afford these things, but I could never purchase them, right? If that is right now your present circumstance, you can start to remember on it, which will help you to, like I explained, place your awareness on the desired state, which, the opposite would be to be financially stable, to be, absolutely, secure in your financial situation. So this is what it implies, right? Remembering implies basically that it is in your memory, that it is no longer present yet. And this is applicable for any situation. If that is health, if that is money, if that is relationships, if that is your lifestyle. I gave you a quick example from my personal life just a couple of weeks ago with health, but I also do this with money. Like I also do this with my business. I also do this for other things. If I see, okay, currently I'm experiencing the same thing over and over again and I don't want to continue that, I can just say, oh, I remember when I, made X, Y, and Z per month, and now it's that. Which places the awareness, the focus, my attention on the new amount that I'm going to make per month, right? And bring that in the here now and making that more natural, right? Same with health symptoms. That is a really powerful way. Let's say you have symptoms. You can start to remember on these symptoms. You can start to remember when you had health insecurities or health issues, anything relating to your health, anything relating to your body, right? Anything relating to your relationship life. Start to remember on it, which means it's no longer present in your life. That is the key here. And like I said, I remember when. Just these little simple phrase implies memory, right? Because you remember on it, that means that is something, that implies memory, and that implies that things have changed, that things are different now. If you can remember on it, then it can no longer be present in your life because you say, oh, I remember when this was the case for me. I remember when this was who I am. I remembered when I identified with that, but now I'm X, Y, and Z. Now I have X, Y, and Z. And here's the problem that I've observed and that you can also observe just, when you listen to people, when you listen to how people speak, is that they use this principle, they use the I remember when method in a really destructive way, in a negative way, by remembering on the good things. So, they say, I remember when my life was so great. What does this imply right now? That right now it is not great. I remember when I had this fulfilling relationship. What does this imply? That right now you are lonely or that you right now have a not good relationship. right? Or I remember when I had, a really stable business. I remember when everything was flowing in my life. I remember the good old times, right? What all of this does is, again, it puts your attention again right now on that things have changed towards the negative now. And we want to do the opposite. We want to take the opposite that is there right now and start to really consciously remember on it. This is a practice that maybe the first try it feels strange because those circumstances feel so present. But if you really inwardly can do this, you will see what I mean by this. And you really will see that it will be possible for you to remember on a thing, even though it seems to be present right now in your life. But actually, really quickly, this will be moved to the past. You will feel like this is no longer you. You will really stop identifying with it because more and more you say this inwardly, the more and more you feel into this inwardly, the more it will be in the past, and the more the desired state will automatically make itself present. So when I say, oh, I remembered when I made this and that in my business, or I remember when I really struggled in my business, what does it imply? That right now I'm no longer struggling because I'm remembering on it. So I'm sure you get the point. And this is a easy technique. This is a easy method. I'm not even calling it a technique because this is so natural for me to just consciously use that. It's not even a technique that I do to get something. I just have this integrated within me and do this, for all sorts of, circumstances that I also have the desire for to change, to be different. And a good thing with this I remember when method is that, in my personal opinion, it comes with a really, really, really small amount of resistance, or even no resistance at all. Because when we speak about imagining a scene, hearing a congratulation, there are a lot of people that struggle with that say, I can't see something, I can't hear something, I can't touch something in my imagination, all of that stuff. That is okay. That maybe requires some practice and repetition. But this technique is something you can start to do instantly. You can instantly start to integrate this in your life and remember on the present circumstances, if you don't like them, to put them into the past, to imply that they're no longer relevant for you, that they're no longer there for you, that you no longer identify with them. And now I want to share some quotes from Neville Goddard with you that he used to describe this principle. So this principle can be used, like I said, in a destructive or a constructive way. Because you can say, if you manifest something for someone else, you can say, I remember when my friend had nothing and now he has much. Perfect. That is really good. Or you can say, I remember when he had much and now he is poor, right? I remember when my friends were doing great. You don't even have to say the second part. That comes really automatically. But when you say, I remember when my best friend was doing really good, then that implies that right now he's not doing good, right? Or I remember when my friend struggled with X, Y, and Z. That implies that right now he's no longer struggling. You can say, I remember when she was healthy, which could imply that she is now ill, right? You remember when she was healthy. Remember when she did good. Remember when I had this. Remember when I felt like this, which means that right now you experience like the opposite. Or I remember when they were unknown, implying that right now they're famous. These are just general examples. So you see what power was in that revelation. It's entirely up to you how you use your imagination, right? But the operation of your creative power is completely up to you. You make the decision and therefore are responsible for its effect on the world. This is the crucial point that I explained to you over and over again, that you are determining, again, how you use these techniques, how you use these tools, what you are imagining, what you identify with, in which state you shift into, right? It's not the government, it's not your parents, it's not your friends, it's you. So you have to take responsibility for that and really become aware about your internal conversations, because most times we just use this principle, like I said, unwittingly, and we say, oh, I remember when, back then when I felt so healthy, when everything was good. Let's say right now you have a negative health condition and you remember on, your great health. That just puts more focus, more attention again on the undesirable circumstances. So do the opposite. Remember on when you were unhealthy. Remember when you felt sick. Remember when you had symptoms. That implies that you're no longer having them. And so really start to view yourself already from your desired version point of view. So let's say you're here right now with the undesirable circumstances, no matter in which life area, and here is your desired self. Try to place yourself consciously in the desired self that is, that experiences the new circumstances that you want to experience, health, financial stability, financial abundance, create relationships, the relationship you desire, the type of relationship dynamic, the type of lifestyle, and start to see your current version, right? The current circumstances, start to consciously see it from this desired version. So like put yourself imaginatively in this new version of yourself and think about yourself right now and start to, I remember when back then I had these symptoms and X, Y, Z and was lonely and all of that. This implies that you're right now already in this desired version state. Having nothing, you can become aware of being surrounded by wealth. And feeling wealthy, you can say, I remember when I had nothing. Right? I remember when I was broke. I remember when I, thought that earning $2,000 a month is much. You can start to remember on this. I remember when I had this shitty job. I remember when I, tried really hard to manifest X, Y, and Z, which implies that right now you approach manifesting with ease. I remember when. Does the statement not imply the state of poverty no longer exists for you? Right? I remember when I was unknown. I remember when I couldn't sell a book. I remember when I couldn't sell anything I wrote. I remember when. This is a powerful phrase. Now you fill in the events, the desires, and the fulfillments. I remember when. Do not those words imply memory? Yes, of course, they do imply memory, right? They do imply that this is a memory, that this is no longer present, that it is no longer relevant for us in our life. Look at yourself in the mirror and dare to see radiant health and happiness reflected back to you. Then say within yourself, I remember when my reflection was so different. Right? Persist in seeing your new image reflected there and you will resurrect that state. Again, these are examples. If health right now is no problem for you, then you won't even desire more health. So that's already a natural state for you. But I'm sure if you're listening to this video, there is at least one thing or one life area or maybe two or several things that you want to change, that you want to manifest. So take the current circumstances, start to remember on them. Take what I've told you this night to heart and put it into the extreme test in this world of Caesar, right? In our world of flesh, in this manifested world. There is no limit to your creative power. Simply stand on your new belief and say to yourself, I remember when. See what you want to see in your mind's eye in place of what you see on the outside. That is what I just described to you with the current version of you and the desired version of you. And you start to, in your imagination, already go to your desired version and remember back on this current version that you are right now. So see what you want to see in your mind's eye, meaning inwardly in your imagination, internally, see the world from this new state, in place of what you see on the outside, and remember on these old things. Go through life remembering when. Haven't you heard people say, who does he think he is? I remember when he had nothing and was a nobody. Now, you may have heard a little jealousy in their tone, and that is good because envy adds fire to this statement, which causes the one spoken of to have more. He may never know who caused his success, but it was done by an act of remembering with intensity. Right? That's just an example. So you can also overhear your friends or family members speak about you, right? Use the eavesdropping technique. And you can basically hear them say, do you remember when, Erica struggled with that? Do you know when Erica really thought that she, had this and that? You have to play with this a little bit, see how this works for you. If you just say to yourself inwardly, if you bring in other people and let them speak about you and let them remember things about you, keep this dynamic and see how this works best for you. But I just wanted to point out the simpleness, the simpleness and the easiness and the fun way of applying this technique. Right? Neville is saying here, go through life remembering when. When there's something you don't like, remember on it. That implies automatically it is no longer there. I said this oftentimes again in this video, I know, but I just want to point out that this is really important and you should from now on start to be really aware of your inner conversations, of your inner talking, how you speak to yourself. And do you use this principle constructively and exactly the way that I described to you? Or do you use it destructively and remembering on all of the good things, remembering on when everything was great, remembering when you had all of these great things, which now means that now all of that is gone, which you should not do. So let me know in the comments down below if you already consciously like use this technique, if you prefer it, if you like it, if you have had successes with that, if you want to now start to consciously use it in your life, if like my explanations made sense to you or paired with the quotes. And if you have any suggestions or feedback or questions, leave them in the comments down below. If you want to learn more about Neville's teachings, how you can apply them, integrate them, and naturally, use them to, go beyond the limitations of your mind, of the conditioned society, of, old paradigms, and start to, manifest consciously and actually, apply these teachings with a fun approach, naturally, then I'd really like you to watch the free masterclass that I linked in the description below. It's the first link. And if at one point you feel that, everything that I teach here, everything that Neville said, makes sense to you, and you want to learn the art of consciously shifting from your present state into the desired state to make this natural, stable, so that this new state can express and that the world mirrors back, these goals of yours, these desires of yours, then you can also apply for a free 45-minute consultation call with Upgrade to Life, where we will see, if we are a good fit to work together. And that is the second link in the video description. So from now on, start to remember when, right? I go back here to the first slide. Main objective is that we push the unwanted present state, the unwanted present circumstances. We gently, kindly, not with effort and fighting for it. Really gently, we push it to the past by starting to remembering on it. I remember when, let's say you struggle with money. I remember when I struggled with money. I remember when I really thought that finances are an issue, which will automatically, make you more stable in the desired state. Okay? So that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I speak to you in the next one. Bye, guys.